Hi guys, today we are going to be solving quadratic inequalities. Here is an example of a quadratic inequality. So, quadratic inequality looks something along the lines of this. X squared plus 2x minus 24 is smaller than or equal to 0. So this is our quadratic inequality. What we're trying to do is we're trying to solve it. But before we solve it, there are a few rules that you should know. Here are the rules. These symbols here are very important, and here are the rules to follow according to them. So if you have a smaller than or equal to symbol, you'll need to use the below. And what this means is that when we are plotting the points onto our axes, we will have a curve. Something like this. What I mean by below is this section, because it's below the x-axis. What I mean by above is the above. A good way to remember this is that this inequality, if you just turn it 90 degrees clockwise, it will be pointing downwards. Sorry, it will kind of like turn into this. So that's pretty much how I remember it, so that I need to do the bottom part. So smaller than or smaller than equal to is the below, and vice versa. So the reason you solve inequalities is to get the inequality of x and what it's smaller than or what is bigger than. What I mean by that is we'll follow on from this, but we'll use a new page. So x squared plus 2x minus 24 is smaller than or equal to 0. So what we're going to start off with first is we're going to factorize this. So we're going to start off by factorizing. So we're going to get our brackets ready and pop this section back on. So now when we factorize this, we need to think of two numbers that times to make 24. So I'm thinking of 6 and 4. 6 and 4 times together to make 24. And it also needs to have a difference of 2. 6 and 4, they do have a difference of 2, which is perfect. So we're going to put x here and x here. Because we know it's going to be 4 and 6, we are just going to put the 6 here and the 4 here, or whichever way you want. Then we've got to figure out whether it's going to be a plus or a minus. Because it's plus 2 here, the difference should be plus 2. But when you times, it should make minus 24. So if you think about it, we want a plus 2. So we want 6 being positive minus 4, which 6 minus 4 is 2. So it's going to be plus and minus. What we do next is we're going to find the values for x. All you've got to do there is pretty much just take it out of the bracket. So let's start off with this one. X plus 6 equals 0. Forget this for now. Just forget this for now. We're just going to find the value for x. So what we do next is x plus 6 equals 0. So how would you find the value of x? You just pretty much put this 6 onto the other side. So that would be x equals minus 6. So it's pretty much just the opposite of what's in here. So if we're going to go with what is the opposite, we're just going to do the same here. So if it's x minus 4, it's going to be x equals positive 4, which is just 4. So these are our two values. Next, we need to use these values on the axes, on the graph. So I'm just going to draw a little graph here. And remember, we're sticking to this symbol. Remember that rule I'd shown you. The smaller than or smaller than equal to is below, and vice versa. So using that, we are just going to draw this. So if x passes through -6, -6 would be somewhere around here. We're just going to estimate it. So we're just going to write -6, and 4 would be somewhere around here. 4. So we're just going to do a curve. Doesn't matter what the curve looks like. It just needs to pass through these 2 points. This point here, and this point here. So these 2 pass. This symbol shows us that we need to use the bottom, the below part. So this is the below part. So what we're trying to find out is what x is. So we're trying to work out what x is in a number form instead of a quadratic form. So using this, if the numbers increase in this direction, because if you think about it, it's -6, -5, -4. It's increasing in size, right? It's going 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's increasing that way. So it's -6 all the way to 4. So it's increasing. So if you think like this, then because we're using the bottom, what we're trying to find out is x. So x, and we're going to use a symbol. So here, if this is x, the bottom, x is going to be the bottom because of this symbol. So if x is going to be the bottom, x is going to be, is it going to be bigger than 6? Bigger than -6? Or smaller than -6? What would you think? Because it's gradually coming this way, it's increasing. So that means x is bigger than -6. So we're just going to use the symbols as bigger than or equal to -6. Now what about the 4? Because the bottom is x, so if this is 4, so if the bottom is x, is x going to be bigger than 4 or smaller than 4? If it's the bottom, remember, this is increase, so x is going to be smaller than 4 because it's going this way. If you think about it, it's either going to go this way, which is getting closer to that side, or it's going to go this way. But this one is going, because we're looking at the bottom, is going this way. So x is smaller than or equal to 4. So this is our final values. This is what our answers are going to look like. However, we could simplify this, but this only works with this symbol. With the smaller than or equal to, or the smaller. So either these 2 symbols can do this. So if this is the 2 values for x, we can pretty much put them in one straight line. So we're going to put x in the middle. And we need something for this side. So that's going to be this. -6. Now we want to move this onto this side. So what do you think we would need to do? The way I think about it is x is closer to the point. So we need to put the point coming here. Just like that. And then we're just going to put 4. So that's our answer. This is the final answer to the quadratic x squared plus 2x minus 24 is smaller than or equal to 0. Thank you for watching.